Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Taro and today this is a video of firsts. Most importantly, it is my first collab between just two people, not like a panning project collab, but this is a collaboration video with Ruth. Ruth Foley, the most amazing panner person. I haven't met her in person, unfortunately, but I am pretty sure she is just as amazing in person as she is through camera. So, yes, this is a collaboration with Ruth, and it is my first palette bingo, and it is my first time filming myself putting on makeup. So, excuse me if it doesn't quite go smoothly, but I'm very excited for this because Ruth and I both have this palette, and the reason I have this palette is because of Ruth, because I won this in her giveaway year-ish ago, and this is her favorite, or one of the favorite palettes in her collection. So I was like, we both have it. I am trying to hit many pans in this palette this year. So yeah, we decided to do a palette bingo. If you haven't seen this palette before, there is a lot of shades, a lot to choose from, and it could go very nicely or it can be a hot mess, but this palette screams palette bingo. If you don't know what palette bingo is, we're gonna randomize 5 eyeshadows from here and then do an eye look. Hopefully a nice looking, pretty eye look, but you never know, you might end up with 5 shimmers and then deal with it. But yes, that's what we will be doing with that palette. Now, if you for some weird reason haven't checked out Ruth's channel, if you haven't come across her videos, you should do it. I will obviously have her link down below. She's amazing. She is funny. She rambles quite a lot, and she embraces it, and I love it, and that's one of the reasons I enjoy her videos so much. But she also has very insightful no buy, low buy videos. Especially I loved her Was That Haul Worth It, where she goes through past purchases and sees what she's used up, decluttered, what's still in her collection, and was it worth it. So I definitely recommend checking her out if you haven't already. If you came from Ruth's channel, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy. I do a lot of eyeshadow panning. Mainly I love hitting pan, but I'm also trying to finish quite a lot of shadows, so we'll see. And then I just pan a whole lot of stuff as well. So I hope this video and this face doesn't scare you too much and you stick around to see what I have on my channel. But yes, you're all very warmly welcome here. So we should get on with the video. One thing we decided, I'm from Finland, Ruth is from Ireland, so two countries, especially mine, people might not know too much about. So the goal is, while I'm applying the eyeshadows, we would discuss some questions we asked from each other about our countries, cultures, whatever, so you would get to know our little countries a little bit better while we do this. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know if I can multitask, speak and apply. I wish I could hear your shouting like, yes, nice, keep doing the makeup while you talk. Unfortunately, I can't, so I'll try to remind myself to do that. In addition, since this is a long introduction before we get nowhere, I also asked Ruth to pick some shadows from here for me to hit pan on for project half pan. I'm trying to have this palette have pan in half of the shades. I've done it for most of my eyeshadow palettes. This is the big one, so I gave Ruth free hand to choose from. Obviously I have some pans already from Pan Those eyeshadows, but yeah, she has picked 4 shadows for me. I might reveal them later, because we'll see what I get if I by chance get some of the ones Ruth picked for me. But that was my additional kind of challenge to Ruth, but mainly from myself. But she was kind. She was really kind. I was like, you can be mean, I'm not gonna be upset, you can be as mean as you want. She wasn't. Of course she wasn't, because she's amazing. Okay. 5 shadows from 45. Let's go. Let's pick them one by one so we can build our color story. Okay, first one. Number 24. So if this is, we have 9, 18. So this is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Lotta latte. Okay, that's a good transition shade. I've actually used that a little bit already. So let's give it a swatch. And I apologize if I count these shadows wrong, but I'll try my best. Okay, that's a good start. We can go in whatever direction. Okay, 34. So if that's 27, then we have 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 30, 34. Nectar. Okay, okay, works. This works nicely. We have a matte and we have a shimmer, and the palette is way too big for me to put down. That works very, very nicely. 45, that's the last one. That's grunge over here. And this is actually one of the shadows Ruth picked for me. And you can see I already have a little bit of a dip in there, so that's always good. But this is a good outer corner shimmer, because I like to put a little shimmer on my very out corner. Okay, now I did something I didn't want it to do, so I'm kind of like asking you, should we count this or not? Because no, because I probably shook the phone accidentally. Oh, 24. So that would be Dusty Rose, right? Because that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, so it's right next to the one we were here. So that's more of a pink transition shade. Okay, that will work. I mean, it doesn't look too pink on camera, but yeah, my camera does that sometimes. Last one. So far, so good. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no. This is the lid setting shade. I'm not gonna be that boring. I'm gonna use that to set my eye primer, but yeah, no. 4. Okay. Right next to it. This is a buff. So we have 4 transition shades, and okay, we'll see. I might use this on my crease a little bit, because that's a lot of transition shades. Okay, that's fairly boring considering the options this palette has, but hey, that's the name of the game. We randomize, and that's what we got. So we got Buff, Dusty Rose, Lotta Latte, Nectar, and Grudge. Okay, let's do it. So, as you can see, I don't have much on my face, and I'm sorry I just shook the table. I only have foundation, concealer, powder, and a little bit of black eyeliner in my waterline or tight line, whatever it's called, because otherwise I would look very sick and you would be scared. So I don't have any bronzer, blush, anything, because Ruth actually thought that we could use this as the rest of our cheeks and brows as well, but that we can pick ourselves. So after the eyes are done, we're not done, we're gonna continue, but let's start the eyes. Wet n Wild eye primer. This works best with my hooded eyes that very often crease. I'm just gonna, I have a mirror right behind you. It's like I'm sitting on my vanity, so I'm looking behind you to my mirror. Hopefully it will work. But yes, we're gonna just start with this. So, like I said, we are gonna talk about our countries. So I hope most of you at least know where Finland is located. But in case you don't, Northern Europe, right next to Sweden and Russia, in between those two. And yeah, we have been part of both of those countries historically. So we were part of Sweden, then we were part of Russia, and like back to, I don't know, yeah. Anyway, we gained our independence in the early 1917. So independent country for a bit over 100 years. And there's not too much, or too many of us. It's kind of a small country, but it's nice to live in. I'm just using the one setting shade that we disregarded from the bingo, because that would have been very boring and I would have used it anyway, because things would crease. But yes, we are a Nordic country. We, obviously, you probably know Lapland. We have part of Finland is in Lapland, which also covers part of Sweden and Norway as well. So that's probably where you've seen a lot of pictures from Finland and whatever. And one of Ruth's questions was when it's the nicest time to visit, and then what's the biggest tourist hotspot and where I would personally like to go. And while I do that, let's start with Buff and Lotta Latte for the crease, and then maybe we'll put Dusty Rose in the lower lash line. This might be a very boring eye look, but I'll try my best. So obviously Lapland is a huge tourist attraction. We obviously have Santa Claus. Santa, joulupukki, comes obviously from Finland, lives in Korvatunturi, which translated ear fjell, basically, which is actually Russian side, but we don't have to talk about that. It's supposed to be ours, but anyway, yes, Lapland during the winter, obviously a huge thing. Northern Lights, reindeer, snow, amazingness. Yes, if you want to see the winter wonderland, go to Lapland. If you are a Christmas person, then sure, go during the Christmas season, December. If you don't care about the Christmas stuff and the Santa villages and whatever, obviously they are there year round, but Christmas it's bigger then. I would say January, February, way nicer than December. The snow cover, I mean, the winters are getting worse. Also in Lapland, unfortunately, because global warming, we are seeing it quite badly in Finland. So in February, the snow is gonna be nicer and it's gonna carry, like, there is also sunshine more because we have the winter night that in northern Finland lasts like a month or so. I mean, depending where you are. So sun doesn't rise at all. So if you if you want some sunshine, then February, amazingness. Avoid Finland in November at all costs. We could just skip November altogether. Just don't come here. If you can hear snoring, that's how my dog. November, especially in southern Finland, is just the worst. It's just miserable, gray, rainy. Don't come here then. If you enjoy summer, July, August. If you want to see the trees changing color, then September, October are usually quite nice. Not in November. Don't do that. Don't come here then. Yeah, unless you want to be miserable, which, no. So obviously Lapland is nice. We don't really have mountains, but we have big hills, fjälls in Lapland. So that's nice. If you like forests, then the eastern northern part of Finland, amazing forests. I mean, we have a lot of natural parks in whole Finland, but in the south, the forests unfortunately are mainly not industrial, but like we grow a lot of wood and sell the wood and use the wood, so they are planted forests and not very old and nice. So the northeaster you go, the nicer the forests. If you like cities, Turku is a very nice old city. There is like a old castle and a big church. Helsinki has some of that as well, but Turku is the most historic town in Finland, although it burned quite badly at some point, so a lot of the wood buildings unfortunately were destroyed like long time ago. So, but yes, obviously Helsinki is the capital, the biggest city. If you count the city and the two surrounding, they are their own cities, but it's kind of a big blob. Then we have more than 1 million people living here, but it's small compared to other actual big cities. But yeah, if you like cities, then sure, Helsinki and Turku are nice, but I would say go for the nature. That's our thing. And that's where I like to be. Just by the lakes. Obviously Lapland is nice in the summertime as well. I go there quite often during the summer, but then I don't go to I don't like the touristic places. I like to avoid people. So, and then we have our own summer cottage by the lake, and there's no neighbors, so then you can just chill. That's my happy place. But yes, avoid November at all cost. Don't come here. Don't come here. Okay. Then Ruth wanted to know what is our national sport or pastime, and we actually have this kind of Finnish baseball. It's not quite the same as the baseball in the US, but it's similar, and that's our like national sport, and everyone plays that in school, like on PE, what is it called. And yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, kind of big, but not really. We are a hockey nation by heart, so I mean, I'm not a sports person, but if you would describe Finland having a one sport that people love, that would be hockey. If we win the world championship or Olympics or whatever, I don't think we won the Olympics, but anyway, people go crazy. They just go in on the streets, and that is the one time Finnish people might actually hug a stranger as well. So people just go crazy. They jump into fountains and climb statues, and it's a thing. So hockey would be what most Finnish people love to watch and also play a lot, because obviously during winter we have ice rinks everywhere. Every city, every town has their own ice rink, and we learn to skate when we are little, basically all of us. And then some people like to ski, but they are their own like category, the weird ski people. But yes, I am not big into sports, but yeah, a lot of skating, a lot of skiing, a lot of winter sports, obviously. But then during the summer, people like to hike, just go to the forests and people go to Lapland to hike like for a week with carrying everything you need. There might be some huts you can sleep in, but tent, food, everything. Then you just go in the middle of nowhere, which is very nice. Then, national drinks, foods. I really want something to deepen my crease, but maybe I'll just keep on piling these. I mean, the national drink is probably Koskenkorva, which is basically vodka. The Koskenkorva is a place where the big factory is. So then it's called Koskenkorva vodka. I think that would be it. I mean, we do drink a lot of, I don't really drink alcohol, but beer is obviously a big thing. We have a lot of small breweries and stuff. But yeah, Koskenkorva vodka. And then we have our own licorice vodka, salmiakkikossu, which is a salty licorice vodka. You can do it on your own by like melting these hard licorice candies into a vodka, but then you also can buy it as it is. It's thick, black, and you're supposed to drink it super cold. I love it. For some, it's cough medicine or like disgusting, but yeah, salmiakki, the salty licorice, that's our thing. So that could be also like the food part, but obviously we had to mix in alcohol with it because we're Finns. But food wise, we do have like a couple of things like Karelian pies, which are these weird rice porridge bread thingies that you would eat with egg butter, like eggs mushed with butter. But that's like from Karelia, obviously. And there's a bit of a like, do we want to count Karelia as part of Finland? I mean, we lost a big chunk of Karelia to the Russians when we lost the war that we kind of won because we kept our independence. But yeah, a lot of people in Karelia were like, we want to be our own nation, and they do have a lot of their separate tradition, but then it's kind of part of Finnish culture as well. So we have the Karelian pies, and then we have these weird bread that's filled with meat or fish, and then fish, then it's called kalakukko, which basically means fish rooster. I have no idea why it's called that. But we are not the most our culinary spectrum is not very it's rustic, you would say. So mashed potatoes and meatballs, that's kind of a Swedish thing, but that's kind of also our thing. So yeah, obviously a lot of fruits and stuff don't grow here. We mainly go with like root vegetables and potatoes and rye bread and stuff. So yeah, nothing too fancy, but yeah, salt and pepper, that's it. You don't need any more spices than that. That's kind of the thing. Okay, and then what's your national holiday? So obviously we have our Independence Day, which is kind of the only one that's just our thing. That's 6th of December, so the most depressing like weather-wise. So it's nice to have something to celebrate there. So that's like a big thing. Our president has this big party that they invite important people who've done good things for whoever during the year, and then they shake hands with everyone, and then it's streamed on television, and then we watch for 2 hours while people shake hands with our president and tell them hyvää itsenäisyyspäivää, happy Independence Day. So that is a weird, that's also what Ruth also asked about traditions and what traditions I love. And that is a weird tradition. Like, we just watch people come in, shake hands, and then we obviously like look at what they're wearing, and it's kind of the Oscars. And then we like, oh god, that dress is so ugly, and look at that man is not following the dress code. And then the tabloids next day are like full of, oh, she was the best dressed person in the, it's called like castle party because it's the president's castle, but it's just a big mansion house thingy. But anyway, that's our thing. But then the two big, obviously Christmas is big, and we used to have like the pagan Christmas before the Christian Christmas came, which I prefer the pre-Christian stuff because I'm not Christian myself. But yeah, Christmas is obviously big, but then 1st of May, which is called Vappu, is a big thing in Finland, especially for the students. They just drink and go crazy during 1st of May. And then the most loved baby in Finland is the midsummer party, Juhannus. Everyone goes to their summer cottages or to a friend's place and barbecue and go to sauna, and if there is a lake or a sea, just go swimming and do outdoorsy stuff and eat well and just have fun. And everything shuts down during midsummer, and everyone, like, the city is empty. People are just away and having fun. So that's one of the most loved holidays in Finland. And that also plays with the tradition. I love the kind of the pagan midsummer traditions where you collect different flowers, like 7 different flowers, put them under your pillow, and then you dream about your future husband or wife or whoever you want to end up with. And then you can collect flowers and toss them into like an open well, and when you look into the water you see the reflection of the person you're gonna marry. And then you can do like little spells that you can get someone to fall in love with you and stuff, and they're really fun, and I wish we would do more of that. But I think I need to move on with the shimmers. I've tried to kind of pack on the Lotta Latte. So it's this one, and I started with that one. I leave that for the lower lash line because otherwise they will just mumble together. I'm gonna put on some glitter glue for the lid so we can pack on the shimmers, which are very lovely in this palette. I mean, I do agree with Ruth, this is a very nice formula and a lovely palette. But yes, traditions kind of take us to one of my questions, which was, what am I trying to find? A brush for the shimmer. Kind of like, what about the myths and superstitions and stuff in your culture? And obviously, yes, during midsummer there is a lot of magic in the air. It used to be on the summer solstice. Now obviously the Christians had to do something with it, and they moved it around a little bit, and now it's always during the weekend, so you don't have to give your workers that many days off during the week, which is a bit stupid. But yeah, it used to be summer solstice, obviously, and then the spirits are strong and magic is in the air. So there are a lot of those, and I really like those. I'm sorry, I'm shaking you again. I love all the old mythologies and stuff, and we used to be like I can't put this on this table, it's too big. We used to be a nature religion, so we had pretty much kind of a god or a goddess for the forest, for the lakes, and for the flowers, and for the earth, and for beer, obviously. So everything pretty much had their own god or goddess or a spirit of sort. And yeah, then they were obviously very strong during these special occasions like summer solstices and full moons and stuff. And we, like, for example, bears were really like in high regard. We thought that bears were descendant from gods, and then people actually were descendant of the bears. And bear in Finnish is karhu, but at some point people would not use the word karhu, so we have like, because that would have been like bad luck, or like calling the bear to come and maybe attack or whatever. So we have a lot of different names for a bear to kind of not use the actual, yeah, my brush is a bit broken, but that's now nectar all over the lids, and let's deepen the other corner with grunge. So yeah, bears were very powerful, and there were a lot of like, yes, we did hunt bears, but there was also always like a ceremony for the bear, and then we had these special trees where you would take the bear's skull and attach it to the tree, and in some places it was also pointing west where the sun goes down, so that's where the underworld kind of is. And so you would attach the skull to the tree so that then the bear could be born again. And we had a lot of these sacred trees, sacred stones, sacred places where not all people were allowed to go. And sometimes it was only like shamans, or we have these, it's kind of witch or wizard, but it's called tietäjä, which would be the person who knows, the one who knows. So they would know like spells and poems, a kind of spell poems, songs that they could use to interact with the shadow world or the other side or whatever. Now I have a little bit of fallout, so let's hope I can brush it off. These darker ones have a little bit of fallout. That works quite nicely. So yeah, we had these people who knew how to use the spells and could interact with spirits, with nature spirits, with deceased spirits, and then they would heal people, guide people, do whatever, and have these ceremonies for the bears, for example. But then the one part I really like is the fact that like females were thought to be like super powerful. Actually, let me move on to the lower lash line. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna be saying some bad words both in Finnish and in English, so if you need to cover some ears or put on headphones, this is your warning. But there is this concept called vitun väki, which vittu is a swear word now in Finnish as well. It didn't used to be, but it's basically cunt, pussy, the female parts. And now it's just used as a swear word. But vitun väki is also a weird word because it can mean like a group of people, like a crowd, or in this case it's actually about strength, power. So it's basically pussy power. And female obviously only had this, male didn't, and it was a very powerful thing. And what you could do with it, I have a dog hair on my brush. What you could do with it, you could protect people, your animals, or you could kind of use it to mess with someone else. So what you would do, you would basically show the female parts. Usually the woman of the house could like go around the property and just show the lady parts to the forest, and the bears would not dare to come because vitun väki is very powerful. Or during the spring, when you release the animals to their summer pastures, the woman would stand with legs wide on top of something so that the animals could go under. Obviously you're not wearing any pants, so they go under your private parts and they get the power from the pussy. So then it would protect the animals. You could also do that in the garden, like get more fertility for the crops and stuff. So you would just basically show your lady parts to whatever. But then there's the negative side, that if you would like go above like fishing gear, for example, then the fishing gear wouldn't work because that was a man's job. And then you could mess with your neighbors if you want to basically mess with their fishing gear so they wouldn't get any fish. I think that's amazing. And then because bears were powerful but also female parts were powerful, then women would sometimes wear like bear claws or whole like paws on their like belts, so that it would kind of counteract with the pair power, with the female power would kind of counteract. So then obviously people became afraid of women, and they had to kind of the bear claws can also be a way of controlling women. Yay. And I realized that this is gonna be a fucking long video, but we don't care. Okay, let's put a little bit of grunge on the lower lash line. I mean, I don't care. Hopefully you won't care. Hopefully you'll find this interesting and you appreciate me talking about this. Okay, I think I will stop recording for a while so I can put on mascara and eyeliner, because I can't speak while I do that. So I will be right back with you. Okay, eyeliner, mascara is on, and I realized that I need to put some shimmer in my lower lash line because I feel naked without an inner corner highlight, but we didn't get one today, so we're going without. But continuing with myths, superstitions and sorts. Yeah, like I said, we think that everything has their own spirit, but obviously what is big in Finland is our sauna. So the most important spirit or elf is the saunatonttu, the sauna elf, basically. So you need to be very kind with the saunatonttu, because otherwise they can burn down your sauna or kill you basically in the sauna. So you have to be very kind with them. So every time you leave the sauna, especially like obviously this was when all the sauna was wooden, burn with wood or heat up with wood, before you go you would fill up the wood so that it would burn a little bit longer, and you would toss löyly. So you would toss a little bit of water to the hot rocks and then it would steam. So you would leave the wood burning and toss a little löyly for the saunatonttu before you go, so they would take good care of your sauna. Obviously this is, you need to dry the sauna, so if you leave the wood burning it would dry the sauna, and then the sauna would stay good and nice. But no, of course this is because of the saunatonttu. So don't make your saunatonttu angry, because you need to preserve your sauna. So that is very, very, very important. Don't mess with the saunatonttu. And then obviously you would have the home elf, the kotitonttu. You would like give them little treats here and there to keep them happy, and then they would protect your home and your animals and everyone. So yes, that's very important. We need to do brows, and I am thinking that chestnut might be too dark, but I might do chestnut in the outer part and then use Laude Latte in the inner part. And let's see how this works. But yes, that's basically, yeah, superstitions. Obviously we have the same, like black cats and walking under ladders and stuff, but don't mess with the saunatonttu is the kind of original Finnish superstition. And then yeah, asking for good fishing luck and hunting luck and stuff from the forest spirits. This is very warm, but we need to go with it because that's all we got. But yes, then I kind of asked, well, first let's say this. I asked, I am a biologist, if you didn't know. I study animal behavior. So I wanted to know what is Ruth's favorite Irish animal and what is the part of Irish nature that she really loves. But obviously I have to answer myself as well. I am kind of partial to carnivores and predators. I don't know why, but I like them. They are often like very smart, and like for example how wolf packs hunt together and work as a family. And I love all the carnivores. We have like wolves, bears, lynxes, wolverines, foxes. Some Arctic foxes, they are like they are in trouble because the red fox is going up north while the climate is warming up. So poor Arctic fox is in trouble. But we've had some puppies, I think they could be called puppies, born past few summers, so that's nice. But yes, I love those. But I love the weasel family, the Mustelidae. That's weasels, like ermines, pine marten, otters, and badgers, and wolverine as well is part of that family. I love badgers, they are just so much fun, and otters are so playful. And then little weasels, we call them lumikko in Finnish, which is basically kind of snowy. because they turn white during the winter. So that's like stoats and stuff, so that they would blend obviously with the snow. I love them so much. And what I most love about Finnish nature, like overall, is the fact that we have 4 seasons. I love all the seasons. I'm happy when the seasons change. Like I said, we could skip November because that's like stupid in between. It's not fall, nice fall colors anymore. But it's not proper winter yet, so that we could skip. But I love the springtime with all the flowers and then fresh leaves, and then summers are getting too hot for me. But obviously I love swimming and stuff, so that's always nice. And then obviously the fall colors are just so pretty. And then I love snow and winter and coldness and like the starry nights when it's super dark but there is snow so you can see where you walk, and then the stars, maybe some northern lights. Amazing. But I also, my favorite like type of nature, we have a lot of bogs, marshes, swamps, whatever. Suomi is Finland's Finnish name, and suo means marsh or bog, so it's basically the land of the swamps. So I love those as well, but my happiest is in a very thick spruce forest with a thick moss layer and setting sun, so everything is golden through the needles, and the moss is just the loveliest soft green. And yes, I could live in an old spruce forest with all the little creatures. That would be my happy place. But then I also asked, what should we do with bronzer? Should we use Lotta Latte as well or start with buff? Maybe I'll start with buff because that's actually what we used also in the eyes. I need a smaller brush for that. Yes, I asked about what am I trying to say? Stereotypes. So what are some of the stereotypes of our countries, and if they are true or not? I think the biggest stereotype about Finnish people is that we are quiet and antisocial. Kind of true. If you go away from the cities to the countryside, yes. Especially the older generations, they keep to themselves. Obviously they know their neighbors, and we do have this, yes, we help our neighbors and all of that. Everyone knows everyone in these small villages. But yes, we do keep to ourselves. We don't really go around talking to strangers. Yes, we are depressed, a lot of us. There is a high suicide rate in Finland, so that speaks about the depression. And when the culture is don't talk about your feelings, especially if you are a man, a lot of young men decide to kill themselves, unfortunately. So yeah, Finland has been the happiest country in the world for a few times, which is kind of a weird contrast with unhappy people taking their own lives. But yes, we have good education, good healthcare. It's good to live in Finland, although the right wing is unfortunately doing some stupid decisions. But overall, safe country, nice to be in. So yeah, it is good to be here. Maybe it's the depressing winter and the fact that we don't talk about our feelings. Are we very alcoholic? Yes, that is also true. Bottle up your feelings and drink them. So goes hand in hand with the previous stuff. Especially Swedish people tend to think that there are a lot of knife fights in Finland, which might be kind of true. I'm also gonna do a little bit of latte. Especially in the middle of Finland, they are kind of known for their knives, but not really. I mean, yes, sometimes people get stabbed randomly, but not more than elsewhere, I would say. Are we obsessed about saunas? Yes. 100% true. We do have saunas everywhere. Every building has a public sauna. Some apartments have their own saunas. Everyone with their own house, individual house, have a sauna attached to, or like a separate building. We have summer cottages. Everyone's family at least has a summer cottage which has a sauna. Yes, saunas are very important. Historically, you were born in a sauna, and when you die, you were washed in a sauna. So it's the circle of life. Let's do blush. I'm gonna go to Bonbon and see if that does anything. But yeah, I think those were the stereotypes maybe about Finland. If you have more, yes, please put them in the comments. I will confirm or deny. But yeah, there are a lot of drinking problems and stuff in Finland. Not about saunas. Actually, a lot of Finnish politics are done in saunas. I think some very important discussions between like Finland and Russia and Finland and Sweden have been done in a sauna between just the main people, because it's a nice relaxing place. No one has any, like, obviously you're supposed to be naked in a sauna, so everyone's kind of equal in there. So should we be riskier with the blush? Should we go to sweet cheeks, because that says cheeks? Maybe in the very edge of my face. Yeah, I guess it works. The camera is not the best picking these up. I'm sorry. I guess it works. Now this cheek is way more brighter than this. Then we're gonna do some highlighting. There is only 2 shades that are light enough, and obviously I would like to go to the cool toned one, but since our eyes are a bit warmer, I think we're gonna go to Glisten, which is slightly peacher pink. So let's see if they work. Luckily I do like a bright highlight, so yeah, it does work. It does work nicely. Let's put a little bit on the temples and then one boop on the nose. That's how we do it. Can I just now, after you've seen the actual eye look from the shadows, I'm gonna put a little bit of highlight in the inner corner, because you sometimes use a highlighter in the inner corner. It's not only eyeshadow that can go there, right? So we can, oh, that went to the wrong place. Oh, by the way, it's a very Finnish. It's just, oops. Oh, I did something. But you might have seen this Finnish comedian do this thing about one Finnish word that you can say anywhere, and that's no niin. It basically says, okay, and you can say this no niin. So dinner is set, come and eat. Or you can say noni when you want someone to stop being an idiot. Or you can say no niin when you are like very tired of something, or yeah, basically works anywhere. So there's your Finnish lesson. Listen, did I forget to answer any? I think I said everything, which is quite nicely done, in sync with the face. So that's what we came up with. Should I put a little bit of lip on? This is my newest lip product. This is the gorgeous What's a Beauty Egyptian collection in the shade Siba. Yeah, now we look put together. Okay, so that was it. Very long. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I can cut anything out, so I do apologize. But now that we're done, one thing left. What did Ruth pick for me to hit pan in here? So first up is Dusk. Very, very nice of Ruth to pick a transition shade for me. And then I told you about Grunge, which we use today. Very handy to have. Then we have Suede, which is also a transition, very light transition shade. Goes very well with all the greens. And then Sugar Maple over here. So very, very nice bronze lid shade. So Ruth was very kind, very, very kind to me, and picked, that could be a full look with those, adding some other bits. So those are gonna be my focus for Project Half Pant. Should we take the hair out? I have my nice feather clip. But yes, this is what happened. The random generator was very kind to me. It is an actual wearable eye look, so I didn't have to film this during the nighttime because I could have gone out with this very well. And even the cheeks were, I mean, the brows are a bit warm. They are a bit warm, but now that I look at them, I'm like, oof, maybe I should like brush them down a little bit so they're not as intensive, because my own brows are basically translucent almost, so you just see the shadow of the hairs. I don't know if it's any better, but yeah, that was it. Now, at the latest, it is time to go and see Ruth if you haven't already, or obviously go check out her video for this collaboration. Say hi from me, and if you came from Ruth and you're still here, thank you so much. I mean, thank you everyone who is still here. I don't know how this happened, but I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed learning some bits about Finland. If you have any questions, obviously ask away. And thank you, Ruth, for doing this with me. I feel like I should do this again just to get any more interest in eye look, but I think I did okay otherwise, so maybe I don't have to film it again. So I enjoyed it. It was super fun. Thank you, Ruth, for collabing with me. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope I will still see you next time for a shorter, more condensed project panning update, probably. Thank you so much. Bye.